Let's go ahead and get into your self-storage now.
Okay.
So how'd you get into that? Are you partnered with anyone or is it just you? And then how'd you find it?
Yeah, so I have a 50-50 partner on it. I'm kind of like the deal finder, the what's the word, the bird dog. I'm finding the
Yeah.
deals. I'm the hands-on guy. I'm setting everything up. I'm running everything, setting management up and everything. And I have a partner that has a financial interest in them. But how I got into it was actually listening to podcasts. I'm sure you're familiar with Bigger Pockets.
Oh my
This
gosh,
was,
yes.
I mean, this was back when Bigger Pockets was Little Pockets.
Yeah.
It was years and years ago. And I was listening to Mike Wagner, I believe, was on there, and he's a big self-storage guy. But anyway, I like the idea of it, and I was listening to people in other markets who made a ton of money on it. And so I was just driving down the road one day, and I saw a self-storage facility in a small town of about 2,000 people, and it had graffiti all over the doors. And I'm like, man, that looks like a value add opportunity, right? And so I got on the county website, found out who owned it, found out where the tax bill was getting sent. I drove out there that night, knocked on the guy's door and said, hey, 80-year-old guy answered the door. I said, hey, sir, I saw you own this beautiful property here at 123 Main Street. Would you have any interest in selling it? He said, absolutely. He said, I'm getting up there in age. My wife passed away last year, and it was almost fate. And so he gave me a price. I approached some investors about helping me finance it, and the rest is history. We gave him exactly what he wanted for it. It was a great deal. It was great for him. It was great for me. We closed quickly, and I painted the graffiti over, added some rocks, sprayed the weeds, and put a new sign up, automated it, and it's been one of the easiest investments I've had and the most profitable.
That's awesome. A lot of people would see graffiti and run, and you see graffiti and like run towards it. So that's
those
awesome,
are the best ones to get, man. I'm telling
Exactly. No, that's awesome. And then let's talk about it. So you got it at a really good price that you said. How do you value add on a storage facility?
Well, most of the time, these mom and pop storage facilities are not at market rent, and so rental increases is obviously the most like clear pathway to add value. But there's also value in automation. There's tons of programs out there. Like I use Easy Storage Solutions. They build you a website. They have leases already templated. They have everything that you need, payment, logging. They send invoices and receipts and everything. Everything that you don't want to do, they do for you. And it's not that expensive for what it is. And so I use that to automate it. We can do online rentals and everything. So I would say the best way to add value is by increasing revenue and then automation.
Yeah. So do they go into account, like, is it the same thing like a multifamily, whereas, the expenses as well, you lower those, it's going to add value. And then do they count like management fees as well, in the expenses for store? They do. Okay.
Yep. Absolutely.
So by what you're talking about, the automation of it, automating it to that, I believe you said easystoragefacility.com or whatever it is.
Easy storage, yeah.
Easy storage, yeah. So by doing that lessens your expense, so that adds value.
Absolutely, the management is a lot less hands-on, and so I would say like the market range for a property management fee in self-storage is probably like 5 to 6%, and in multifamily, I don't know what you guys pay out where you're at, but here it's like 7 to 10%.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, you can still manage it yourself and use a program like Easy Storage, pay $0 for management except for the program, and it just saves you a ton of money and a ton of time.
Yeah. No, I think it is great that you took initiative to go door knock and just say, "Hey, I'm here. I'm ready to buy your property." And I think that's more personable too than just calling over the phone. And he's like, "Oh, this guy might be a tire kicker. Don't know what he is." But you went there, you showed face, you made face, and obviously it worked out for you. So you got the storage unit, right? It's under rented. You raised rents. How do you advertise, or do you advertise at all?
I didn't actually. We're one of two storage facilities in a small town. Okay. So he was 100% physically full, but economically he was probably like 50% full. Okay. And what I mean by that is, he had people renting the units, but half of them probably weren't paying. He didn't even know who some of his tenants were.
Oh,
So
geez.
yeah, so we didn't have to market much. We put a sign out, but no, we didn't have to market much to get full, and that's only because we're in a small town. But and our in our bigger we have one in Springfield, and it's a little bit bigger here. We do utilize some online marketing like Sparefoot and other third party programs that do some leasing for you.
Got you. Okay. And if someone inquires, right, does that management system that they take care of that for you?
Yeah, so you can rent one of two ways. You can either call in, which, that's I prefer them to do it online. And the way that they do it online, they just get on our website. They can pick which unit they want. They
Uh-huh.
sign the lease right there, put their credit card number in. We get an email within 24 hours. We have to go out there and unlock that unit for them. And I have a manager hired that handles unlocking those, and she takes the calls and stuff. So it's hands off for me, but I'm still the manager.
No, yeah, that's a great way to automate it, like you said. So how much, like, let's say per month, how often are you working on this? Like, how much time does it take of yours?
I'd say an hour a week. So four
Wow.
hours, 4.5 hours a month. Yeah.
Wow. And you said in the beginning that that's one of the, more profitable as well, right?
It is. It's the easiest and it's the most profitable. Yeah.
Geez, that is amazing. And that's something I'm definitely going to look into as well, because I knew it was very hands off, and I knew it was profitable, but I didn't know it, like, you can automate to where it was only like an hour a week for you. And then how much repair and renovations do you account for those?
I do. I mean, every once in a while you got a gutter, every 30 years you got to replace a roof, but I mean, there's no toilets, there's no plumbing, there's none of that. And my advice for, someone like you or anybody else that wants to get started out in this is don't be afraid of the small towns. I know all the books I read about self-storage and all the podcasts I listened to said, you don't want to buy in a town less than 150,000 people. And actually, we've got three facilities. Two of them are in small towns. One of them is, in a bigger town here in Springfield. And my two in the small towns are the easiest. The people are so much nicer. It's safer. And quite frankly, there's just more demand in these small towns and not a whole lot of supply. When you get into the bigger towns, you're going up against the big boys and people like me and you that, aren't big boys yet. It's
Yeah.
tough.
No, I can definitely see that. The competition, like you said, is huge, and the less competition you have, I could definitely see that being more, profitable as well.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so when you said you bought it, you said technically 100%, but economically it was 50%. How is it right now? Were you able to raise that?
Yep, we're 100% full. We've had three rental increases since we bought that facility. So we've got the income up probably 15 to 20% since we bought it, over what he was charging. And so that and storage, I mean, it's the same thing as like multifamily or mobile home parks or anything. I mean, a $5 increase in storage doesn't sound like a whole lot of money to the tenant, but when you times that by 1,000 units, that's $5,000 a month times 12 months in a year. It's an extra 60 grand at a 8 cap. Is you do the math. You're adding tons of value.
Exactly. No, that is awesome, man. Well, kudos to you on that. I'm definitely going to look into that now. That's awesome.